Do you know the face behind the biggest Ponzi scam in the world? Do you know who is the mastermind of the whopping $65 billion scam? Do you know who fooled people with his notorious tricks for more than 2 decades? No more suspense. The answer to all these questions is an ordinary-looking guy, Bernard Lawrence Madoff. Yes, he is also one of the renowned American entrepreneurs. But what's the complete story? What actually happened to this successful businessman? Let's dive deep to learn the nitty-gritty of the Bernard Madoff case. Who was Bernard Madoff? Born in April 1938 in a Jewish family, Bernie Madoff grew up to be a Far Rockaway High School and Hofstra University graduate. Post his grad school, Madoff got married to his high school sweetheart, Ruth Alpern. Slowly and gradually things were falling in the right place for the couple. And like many big businessmen, Bernard also had humble beginnings. He utilized his savings working as a lifeguard and water sprinkler installer to start the brokerage business. Soon after his graduation, Madoff founded his stock brokerage firm, which was later joined by his wife Ruth Alpern. His business eventually turned into a family business, with his sons, brothers, and their children entering it. And from then on, new chapters got added to his life. Madoff's successful business life. Bernard L. Madoff founded Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities LLC with his wife, starting with $5,000 earned from employment and a $50,000 loan from his accountant father-in-law, who also referred clients to him. One of his first investors, Carl J. Shapiro, contributed $100,000. Competing with the New York Stock Exchange, Madoff leveraged technology for quotes and played a key role in developing NASDAQ. His firm, initially trading on the pink sheets, became a major market maker. By 2001, it transitioned into an LLC with Madoff as the sole shareholder, and by 2008, it was the 6th largest market maker in S&P 500 stocks. During his tenure as the promoter of Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities LLC, Bernard was also tagged as the first practitioner of payment for order flow. A picture-perfect scene with everything flourishing. Guess not really. What was the scheme actually? Bernard Madoff masterminded one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history. Madoff attracted clients by promising consistent, high returns. He portrayed an image of exclusivity, making clients believe they were part of a privileged group. His reputation as a Wall Street veteran and former NASDAQ chairman made his scheme appear credible, further luring investors. Behind the scenes, however, there was no genuine trading taking place. Instead, Madoff used funds from new investors to pay older ones, all the while fabricating account statements that showed steady growth. This house of cards continued for decades, even as billions of dollars were funneled into the scheme. How did it all uncover? The financial crisis of 2008 ultimately exposed the scam. As panicked investors demanded withdrawals during the market downturn, Madoff's firm struggled to keep up. There simply wasn't enough money left to pay back investors. In December 2008, Madoff confessed to his 2 sons that the entire business was one big lie. His sons reported him to authorities, leading to his arrest on December 11, 2008. He was charged with securities fraud, wire fraud, mail fraud, and other related crimes. Interesting turn to the big scam. What were the consequences? In June 2009, Bernard Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in federal prison, probably the maximum penalty allowed. In addition to this, his brother, Peter Madoff, and the firm's chief compliance officer was also held guilty of fraud and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Thousands of individual investors, charities, and institutional clients were affected, including high-profile names such as Kevin Bacon, Steven Spielberg, and Elie Wiesel's Foundation for Humanity. Besides this, there was a ripple effect in the ecosystem. Entire families were devastated, and some victims faced financial ruin. Even Madoff's son, Mark, died by suicide in 2010, and his other son, Andrew, succumbed to cancer in 2014. As a result of his wrongdoings, many of Madoff's personal assets, including luxury homes, cars, and jewelry, were auctioned off to compensate victims. The current scenario. Although Bernard Madoff passed away in prison at the age of 82 in April 2021, the legal and financial aftermath of his scheme continues. The trustees' efforts to recover assets have been monumental, setting a precedent for handling large-scale fraud. In the recent development of the case, the 10th and final slot of the compensation of around $131.4 million for the fraud is to be released. It is to be recovered from the forfeited assets and distributed among 23,408 people around the world, according to a statement by the Department of Justice. Until now, 40,930 victims of Madoff's Ponzi fraud have got compensation in 127 countries and have recovered 93.71% of their fraud losses. A major part of the victims were small investors. However, this case remains a stark reminder of how unchecked greed and a lack of regulatory oversight can wreak havoc. What does the Madoff scam teach us? The Madoff scandal reshaped how investors and regulators approach financial security. The entire scam taught us the importance of due diligence and transparency. Investors must thoroughly vet financial advisors and funds, avoiding too good to be true promises. Since the time the scam unfolded, regulators and institutions have started prioritizing transparency and stricter oversight to prevent similar schemes. What else comes into the picture is the focus on investment education. It can act as a vital element to protect individuals from falling prey to future scams. The story of Bernard Madoff is a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition and its devastating consequences. While justice has been served, the scars of his actions linger in the lives of his victims and the financial world at large.